we're live. We're live. Today I am rocking the absolutely cannot be contained within a hat hairdo today because my hair is still not long enough to put in a ponytail. I can try. But I'm just looking like a crazy person now. I look like, I don't know. It looks like there's a Jew fro. Like, if you look at my head straight on, it's like there's hooks coming out from the sides. Because I'm crazy. Anyway, today, my kid just fell asleep like 45 minutes ago, so he's gonna wake up anytime from like a half an hour to like an hour from now. So, I'm just watching some videos.
So just sort of feel how much I hate them.
Let's just go from the beginning.
Hey kids, do you like crayons?
I like this guy's art, this stuff actually. It's not too bad.
Now I have done art with crayons a couple of times, never as like the main theme of the video. Usually when I'm drawing with kids' art supplies because they always come with crayons. But I'm going to give it a crack using just crayons. Let's set the tone of what crayons are meant to be used for by making a little artwork, and then I can also just sort of feel.
Something's gone awfully wrong here. Oh, hi there.
Window stream I'm doing right now. My God, I've been going out so much that like it's like it doesn't matter how much I shower, all the stuff just cakes up on my skin. I don't know. I think it's from like sweat minerals, you know? I've just been walking so much. Chat, pop out. Pop out. Copy. That's not what I wanted. Is it browser? Chat. Alright, well, chat's dead. That's okay. As expected.
How much I hate them with a fresh vigor. Now I'm just starting off with the basics, using crayons the way they're supposed to be used. Crayons on paper, right? I'm not getting anything wrong here, I don't think, because it feels wrong. I still hate this. And I mean, why? You might think I'm being super harsh on crayons, but their waxy consistency means that they're really hard to get out and down onto the paper, but also means it's really hard to get any sort of detail because it doesn't hold its shape. It's constantly rechanging its shape as you grind the waxy crayon into the paper. You end up with this texture that looks awful unless you specifically want that texture. But if you want any sort of detail or definition, it just looks bad. On top of that, the colors really don't blend on top of each other. And because it's wax, you don't really get it to stick to itself. So you can't really layer or build up like you would with most other mediums. So there are reasons why I'm so harsh on crayons, and I tried to do a drawing with the crayons to give them the best chance to show their abilities as possible, and at best it's all right.
Gritty.
I mean, from a distance, like it's me, like, but can you see what I was going? It's hard to tell. You really don't keep much of the detail, but the idea is I'm about to burn and melt a crayon. Let's see how this goes. Pretty quick is the answer. Whoa, this is so cool. Oh, this is way cooler than drawing with crayons. This is actually immediately interesting and fun. I reckon you can get some cool and intricate textures here. And if I'm not mistaken, color mixing is a thing. All right, let's pre-plan a color mix. Red, little bit lighter, not too pink though. Let's mix in that purple. Are you ready? Whoop. Okay, not so lavendery, but sort of an interesting burgundy red. We're going to experiment with a lot of different ways that you can melt crayons and see how cool we can make it. But let's start off with one of the more commercially available ways to do this. This is a Crayola crayon melter. So maybe this is the better way to use crayons. I'm going to try and improve the artwork I made with a tool by the people who made the crayons I drew. It's been like 5 minutes and I've got 3 crayons de-labeled. Rob! Can you take the labels off of these?
How many crayons is there?
Hundreds. Oh, there's some here. Thanks, Rob. Round of applause for Rob. So this has had enough time to warm up, hopefully. Let's just see what happens. It's in there. Okay.
It's like a hot glue gun.
All right. I think that's as good as we can expect this to get.
It's not awful.
It's not good, though. Look, it's just the fact that it's indented in the middle is really annoying me. And then you get all these weird trail textures. So I'm not a fan. This ain't cutting it for me. But I have a backup plan. This is an industrial hot glue gun. Let's see what happens when I shove something in there.
Burn the
Do I
wax.
just shove it in? What happens if I give that a crack? I have no control. It's not squeezing anything out. I don't think this is the way to do it. And I also think I definitely ruined this hot glue gun. It's brand new. I thought this would work.
Did that once when I was a kid.
Oh, we had such a hopeful beginning. Okay, I have to think innovatively. How can we take the cool properties of something that can be applied like this and in a reasonably straightforward way make cool art? I think it's time to dive into the throes of crayon melting. And I just don't think this is going to cut it. Sorry, Crayola. And as always, one of the best ways to find a cool way to use a medium is to see what other people have done. Oh, this is the Crayola that has tips and tricks. I mean, I gotta be honest, I'm not expecting anything revolutionary. I mean, it looks like how we got it looking, which it's fine if you're a child. All right, yeah, nah, sorry, Crayola. We gotta get more intense. Jenny Carell made melted crayon art using the same crayons I'm using and using, how'd you melt them, Jenny? Spoon? Well, I've got a spoon. Look at my bloody team keeping me ready. Ugh, love it. Just waiting for me to figure it out. So that's cool. She used the spoon to melt and apply the crayons. This is more my cup of tea, BM Sculptures. Come on, BM, show me what you do. Yeah, dump them all in there. So he's just melting a whole bunch of them in a pan. You can light it on fire. That's cool. It's good to know. This guy's as responsible as I am. This is great. And finally, we have apple mint. And this is the sort of thing I think I've seen before. The idea of gluing the crayons and melting them, in this case with a hairdryer. Let's start with something like that, because you're bound to get a cool result that works with that melted approach that we're going for. All right, so I'm inspired. I've got some ideas. I think it's time to continue mucking around with various forms of fire, melting, and crayons. See if we can make something cool. I started off on the canvas board and laid out a little bit of a rainbow of colors. I glued them in place, and with a slight elevation to the position of the canvas board, in theory, if I run hot air from the heat gun.
I'm bored of this. Let's see what he did. Is he just like piling them and then just like melting them together? Looks like it.
Of the heat and the wind could give me. And again, this was the fun bit. It's the shaping that you can actually do in this melted state that you can sort of push and pull and stretch. And I discovered this awesome trick. I can force heat in to reveal the actual crayons underneath the melted crayon layers on top. So wherever I knew I had yellow or red heat or purple from the top, even if it was buried in liquid layers of crayon above it, I could pummel it with heat gun and bring it to the surface. And that would also create these awesome ripples. Oh, this was really fun and really satisfying. Eventually I started to feel like I was getting a shape that I was liking. I just wanted to finish it off with a little more direction. So putting on a heat resistant glove, I lifted up the end of the plate and gave it a little bit of that gravity effect, letting the flames drip in the upwards direction of the piece to bring my
So he did,
lava
like, fire.
splashes to life.
Oh, I see. The pink does not suit. Pink just makes it look less like
I
fire.
originally was going to approach this like flames, but the fact that the drips makes it look so lavery and the final form of the poured and twisted liquid crayon looks like a splash in a lake of lava. The effect is just so cool and almost looks like I
And
did
you can just
intentionally.
walk right up and scratch off of it. Do you know what I would have did? I would have just like melted my own like.
Oh my god, I like crayons now. This was really fun. So this piece, obviously a little bit of Bob Ross inspired there, but the swirls of the clouds and the textures in the sky, I absolutely love and could picture on a
Cool.
much larger scale.
Cool.
Hi. Do you know what separates good art from bad art? Is art good just because you like it? No, of course not. That's crazy. So then, what makes good art? Are there guidelines that we can follow to consistently create good art and spot bad
Good,
art when you see it?
but not
Like an
great.
objective way to categorize good or bad? I'm Mark. I'm a professional artist and an art teacher. And in this week's episode of my weekly series I call YouTube Art School, we'll look at the 3 main characteristics of good and bad art. Oh yikes, quickly, let's get this class started. All right, class is in session. Pay attention. Today we'll explore the 3 main factors, in my opinion, that make good or bad art. I'm not an all-knowing curator of art, so I'll try to approach this not based on my personal preference, but instead I'll point out differences that are both objective and subjective, with the goal that you'll be able to take this information and be more critical of art. Your own, maybe. After you pay the class fee of either 1 like or 1 sub. Obviously. No stealing. Also, I'll let this video time lapse play in the background here, so you get something to watch
He's
if
like
you don't care for the
sculpting a
topic.
human here.
But
He's
you
doing a
should care. It will
fucking
directly
killer.
impact your art and how you see art in general.
Very.
That's real.
Very.
Now, I'm sure you've heard before that art is subjective, that someone can love a piece while at the same time you can hate it. But is it really subjective? Partially maybe, but mostly it's not. Say what? I'll explain, and by the end of this class you'll be better equipped to create and recognize good art and avoid bad art. Ugh, gross. First, the key difference between good and bad art is how boring bad art usually is. The boringness of it. Is that a word? We start with this because it's just everywhere. Most art is boring. Now, what is considered boring will be different depending on your age and experience. It's not black and white. Generally speaking, as you get older, you'll have seen more things and you'll need more to be impressed, right? As you see something over and over again, it loses its novelty. It gets boring. A young artist, on the other hand, might be easily impressed by art that's not particularly interesting to others, just by the fact that it's new to them. So boring art is often just a rehash of something that's been done before many times. Like a simple female character in a basic pose. Wait, oh no.
It's like the same thing, just drawn like 4 times, but in slightly different art styles. But it is clearly different. Maybe different? Maybe it's just aging? I don't know.
Anyways, all of this to say, work on the idea a little bit more than you yourself might feel satisfactory. Keep in mind the audience, your audience. If they're all young kids or, anybody that's completely new to art, then you can pretty much impress them with anything. But if they're artists with a little bit more experience though, then chances are your art will more easily be classified as boring, unless you spend some extra time on the idea or on the design. Work on
My artwork. Alright, let's do a fun stream today. My artwork, I consider extremely boring. Because most of the artwork that I have done in the past 15 years has all been entirely commissions. Because I don't even care about drawing anymore. I stopped drawing for like 10 years. Or like, no, it wasn't that long. I think it was like 8 years. I just didn't draw at all. I would draw like maybe 1 drawing every 2 months or so, and it would usually just be like I had a piece of paper in front of me and something happened in chat and I wanted to draw something just to like surprise chat that I had a original drawing as a response like within 30 seconds and it has my signature and they'll be like, what the fuck, did you just draw that just right now? And I'm like, yeah. That was fun, but like usually the quality on that shit is so bad. It's just kind of like they might as well have been like pen sketches because I wasn't gonna change the pencil anyway. But I wasn't really planning on seeing how long I would work on it. I just whatever. The thing is, nothing was, or it would be like technical like landscape design. again, technical design shit. I started organizing a bunch of artwork that I haven't done in a while. Ignore my taco cat pants. We're going to look at some old shit. Old shit? Okay. So, right on the top of the pile here. Hold on. Let's put this here. This stuff. I don't know what's in this pile. This is some preliminary sketches. I first drew this. Hold on. I first drew this. Okay, so what they wanted their werewolf character, their werewolf OC, with their girlfriend's like OC Pokemon thing on, like, sitting on their shoulders, right? So my original sketch was this, and by the time I finished sketching that, I realized the pose was not dynamic with the other character at all, and I didn't really draw it up there. Notice I kind of didn't finish, and then this was just going nowhere, but I liked the idea. It was just too busy in the middle, so I ended up going like this, where they're squatting. I was gonna have them like squatting on a rock, but then I realized I didn't like it like that. And then over here, I kind of loosely sketched what I wanted for like a background. But then I realized that it would look a lot better if I just cropped the tree right here. Probably have some like foreground branches just like coming into frame. Mostly do like a bunch over the trunk first. And then I wouldn't have to worry about doing all these leaves up here, because those are out of the frame. I did that all, I just realized I did that all behind the mic. But then, those are the initial sketches, and then I got this. So, how big it was, I was able to get in there and really get through the detail. But the problem was, and I was not anticipating this, is that for some reason, the pencil that I use did not want to erase entirely. I think I pressed too hard. You know what, I should just do a strain for my artwork. There, it's on top of my microphone. Hopefully that... Alright. So, hold on. Oh, fuck. I should have this set up before the strain. That would have been cool. I was just obviously doing this spontaneously. But, I have like a, one of those Jiffy grow lights over here. It's like it's a fluorescent for some reason. It's fucking broken right here. Person sold it to me almost full price, fucking broken. Fucking Facebook Marketplace piece of shit. I didn't notice it was broken. Anyway, as you can see, a lot of shit didn't erase. And it's frustrated me because I'm gonna have to work with a, where's a good eraser? Where's a good eraser? I'm gonna have to, I was gonna do this watercolor, and the thing is I did not test to see if this see if this takes watercolor well, and I think I might just like do something that wasn't really the main focus, like maybe like just like under here. Like I could make this area black later if I had to, you know what I mean? Just to test to see if this would do with watercolor, because if it doesn't do with watercolor, what I'm gonna have to do is see what I'm gonna wear this eraser to it now, but it's not gonna work. But the thing is, if I do watercolor, I think this is not watercolor paper. This is just a piece of Bristol foil. I'm gonna have to like be very sparing on the water, I guess. Like it's gonna have to just be like if I do a wash in a large area, it's going to make the paper wrinkly. And there would be I can't scan this, so there's no way I could take a photo of it after painting it to make it still look good. So I think the best course of action is to it's gonna be definitely experimental to paint it in, but I want to know if I can actually paint a large thing like this. So, but my other option, which is totally as viable, I'm not sure how good this would be. It's sort of experimental, but I have a gallon of Mod Podge in my closet, and if I Mod Podge this to a canvas, like a proper canvas, I would be able to if I Mod Podge it to a canvas, then I would have this I would be able to paint it with whatever I fucking wanted. And if it came out like wrinkled or whatever, it's already on a canvas, which would have been more wrinkly anyway, but it would be this camera's like slowly drifting. I don't know, if I had this Mod Podge to a canvas, then it might actually be this eraser's getting some of it off, but I'm worried it's starting to like. Sometimes like erasers like they end up just like making the paper smooth, and then the paint doesn't stick. But like it's just not coming off. Some places I just didn't erase well enough. Some shit is just actually not coming off. But like if my other option is to do the line art really, really good and just like paint it digitally, you know. But the line art is detailed enough that like okay, so I think I took a photo of a tree to help me with this because I wanted to. So they wanted maple trees or a maple tree, and what I was thinking about doing was the foreground has to be within the shot. So maybe like 1/3, like right about here. I think I drew a horizon line. If you make it lower, it's the perspective of looking up at it. But it's kind of warped in a way. Like if you have it facing this way, it looks fine because you're looking at it the angle that I drew it. If you look at it straight up, the perspective's fucked. But he kind of looks cool with big hands, honestly. Because it's supposed to be like you're looking up at him, right? Because that's... You want it to be like taunting the viewer. I accidentally like lined in the claw here. Hold on. I don't know, man. I need... The only time I can work on this shit is when my kid's asleep. So I gotta throw it. I could go around the edges again, but if I'm gonna paint it, I would want to just paint over the lines anyway. But it would be a shame to, like... I don't know how this shit's gonna react in water. I'm gonna have to just, like, test it. There's no other way. Hold on. I'll be right back. Right. Anyway, the rest of this pile is just, I drew a lumberjack guy, but then I couldn't draw his face, and I was gonna draw clothes on him, but I was like, not sure what to draw, and I was kind of done drawing it because it was generic pose, and I didn't like it. Somebody asked me to draw a Wigglytuff, or whatever it's called, Pokemon, and I just drew it next to a sign so that they can just meme shit into it. Here's a dude, a sad dude. I was trying to do kind of like a thinking pose, but then I was doing a weird thing with it. I don't know. We got... Oh, this was from, like, a D&D session I did once. Except this looked like the figures, but I drew the door. This was, like, an aerial shot from a cave that was a waterfall that you could also see in a different picture. Here's the tavern. This is, like, all shit I was just drawing on the spot when we were playing D&D. And then here's, like, a swamp with, like, crocodile kobolds that lived in the little huts. We got... a gate at the tower. We got mine entrance. We got a boat under a bridge. We got this weird furry shit. Oh shit, my camera moved to my titties. We got weird furry shit. We got a flower. We got, oh, here's another sketch. This is the preliminary sketch that I wanted to do, but I ended up not drawing the perspective in the legs properly when I did the final one. But I think doing that much of an exaggeration wouldn't have looked that good because the perspective didn't end up lining up with that right. Because I was gonna do like him the one leg far away, but then it looked like he was doing the splits, and it looked really bad. So I guess I'm gonna have to just I'll do it right here. Okay. Okay. The bad news. The paper immediately started pilling, just from a bit of a rub. And if you're painting, it's just gonna be like that. It's just gonna get. It's warping around that spot too. Yeah, this cannot get wet. All right. See, there's literally like a crease on the other side of the paper. Oh, that's kind of sticky. All right, so I guess anything wet is out of the question. I guess my best option is to I say I'm gonna take the best picture I can with it, I guess. And then get a really good picture of the line art. Because if I end up doing what I said, alright, okay, I'm worried that's giving me a gradient. I don't think there's any way I can avoid it. It's just not gonna be able to send out the. Well, hold on. Alright. Maybe I go up here. See, like, I got a bit of a coffee stain on it. So, like, whatever I do, I have to do a lot of cover up with all these smudges. So if I'm gonna paint anything, I'm gonna have to cover up most of the lines almost, or at least do really thick enough shading that I basically am just using them as a guideline. And if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna be doing it with acrylic paint, and this paper can't take that for sure. So I do have a gallon of Mod Podge, and I can just paint. I could Mod Podge this in the middle of the canvas, or if I cut it out, Mod Podge it to the middle of the canvas. There might be a ridge around the edge of it, but I can paint the background first on the canvas, and then line them up whenever I want. So if I take a really nice flat picture of them, like this. here for sure. Beams are crossing. Oh, when you tip it. Alright. There we go. Put it back in. Voila! Alright. Oh, that's great. Unless I got light in my eyes and I'm not looking properly, but it looks fine to me. I could put up holding it down. Hold on, I'm gonna use this as my other weight. Get it really flat. It's not flat enough. It's just not heavy enough, I guess. I'm gonna just get a corner of a book or something. Because that's casting too much of a shadow. Cards. You get cards. Alright. There's definitely like a beam of light right in the middle. Okay, photo. Full resolution. Fuck. There. You guys can't see shit, sorry. I'm trying to get a picture of this. Alright, my video storage is full. Because that was dumb, doing that in 4S. It's kind of a light spot in the middle. That one, it seems like the camera's kind of balancing it out on some of them. That one's filtered. Crop shot. I find when it goes through that phone app, the quality of the picture goes way down. So I'd rather edit this on my computer. But that's a last resort. I think what I'm gonna do is make a huge find a canvas in my closet to try to fit this later. Because if I do that right now, I'm just gonna go crazy off camera trying to find one. But high resolution picture. It's a line I didn't make I made on accident right there. There's a couple like line art mistakes. They're really small, but it's just kind of like here. I guess it's kind of like a spike of hair. It didn't look good going back up again. I don't know. I guess it kind of just gives it a bit more of a scraggly look. Can't just like be that fucking nitpicky, I suppose. I don't know. How about checking in on that spot. I did it like somewhere you would probably not look too much. Or can you? You see? It started pilling after just wiping it like 2 or 3 times. And I feel like when you're painting, you're going to be brushing over it a lot more like that. And the ink just faded too. And it seemed to just pick up and then dry at different spots. So I think getting this whole thing wet would be a very bad idea. I think I'm gonna refund the other people. Somebody wanted a cow on canvas, but I might just paint that. Now, in the meantime, set up my headphones. Alright. So that was my art commissions. My art commissions. And I don't take any more commissions. I feel like I want to work on making, like, not just for my own kid, but like I have this printer and stuff to do, like, make homeschooling materials. But I had a bunch of, I don't know what happened to them, and I really hope they're not gone or something like that. But I had these books. They were little golden book encyclopedia set. And I didn't have every letter, but I had most of the book. There's like 26 of them or whatever, but that wasn't all the letters because it goes like by the first 2 letters of a word. But it, and there was a double too. There was a couple doubles, so it was like the wrong doubles. But like it had like almost like a little doodle, like a little illustration, a painted one, color, on like every couple of words that was in this like encyclopedia, and they also had like instructions on how to like make stuff. I thought it was really neat. See, like this techno like garble gibbly-gook, that shit, he's talking about boring art, and that shit is boring as hell to me. It's just like...
On the hook for your art. What the heck is the hook? This is something that I repeat to my students literally all the time. What I call the hook in art is just the one main distinguishing aspect about the artwork. What makes it stand out? If you're drawing a character, for example, or an environment, you should be able to describe it accurately with a short sentence. If the hook is solid, anyone should be able to quickly spot it in a crowd of characters based on that short description. For example, a voodoo zombie pirate captain. Now that's pretty unique. It's not too common of a combination of ideas. It takes a lot of effort to do something differently, but that's one of the most important factors in good art. How original it is. How interesting the idea is. Try to use inspiration in nature for your designs. From animals, dinosaurs, bugs. If the audience can tell what the inspiration was, like a character inspired by a yellow jacket, it's like having solved a mini puzzle. It's fun and it's more memorable for the audience. Start with this as the first step. Good art is unique. It's different.
Yeah, I guess so. Good art is what sells and what people like. People go to an artist when they want a painting because they want a painting that suits them. Hold on, I think it's time to go. And for me, as an artist who tries to sell my artwork, you kind of just paint whatever somebody else wants, and you try to understand what they like and what their style is and what they envision, and you draw what they envision. So like that is a skill you that gets people coming back to pay you to draw stuff. And the thing is eventually you just get caught in a hook where you're just drawing stupid shit you don't want to draw, and there ain't nothing you can do about it because it's just kind of like, oh shit, now this is my target audience. Oof. Getting asked to draw some weird shit, but the money is good. Obviously, like at the time when I was drawing a lot of this stuff, mostly from that under that art name, it just kind of ended up just gearing to like one audience, and like I'm alright with drawing that sometimes, but it's just kind of like I don't want that to be my main source of income. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. People are blowing money on shit they really shouldn't have, and that was like right before COVID. COVID didn't start yet, but it was like, COVID didn't start yet, but like there was like some COVID related shit going on. Yeah, so like there wasn't a lot of like nothing really spread to North America yet. I don't think there was no lockdowns or anything yet when I was doing those commissions, and like people are just blowing their money on like whatever the fuck they want. And just if you can get it done in an afternoon, they'll be immediately satisfied from it because it's an impulse buy decision. But it's just like it turns into I don't know. Like what can you do about it, right? This camera's too fisheye to have me up close like this on top of my microphone. It's just like, hi. Maybe we get some middle ground where it's not taking up the screen. My kid just picks this up constantly. He just likes the microphone so much. So he sees me talk to it sometimes when I'm just like, or when I wake up, he's peeking into the door, and it's just like, buddy. That's gonna happen any second right now. Let's play some Monster Hunter. Oh, crunchy. Alright, has something to say for once.
Well done.
A mantle. I'll have to check that out. Okay. Oh, you can have 2 mantles now? Prompts are monsters to target you. Causes monster bandit mantle. Fireproof, waterproof, thunderproof, dragonproof. I like that. What about that one's better actually. Mantle though. Trade in items. I think I want to fight Zinogre or something. I'm gonna check out check out what isn't what's what. You know what I mean? Like what's the good shit? Gala. Don't. Orion. That. Blossom. Nah. Double Hull. It's super weak thunder. It's like super weak to thunder. Like everything I do is just like weak to thunder. Well, this one's not bad. But everyone said they hated this Velhazard guy, but he seemed pretty decent. It's okay against thunder and water, which is decent to me. But the only problem else in that is dragon. Demon drug. Val has it. What did I say? Zenohiva? What the fuck? Was I thinking Zenogre? I didn't eat yet. Chat, you're looking lively as ever, as always. AKA nobody. Nobody's in chat. Where are you? Alright. Whoops. Whoa. There we go. Shit, he's coming after me. I didn't bring myself cleansing shit like a dumbass. Is that Nullberries? Finally. Okay. getting away. Always come back. Oh, it cut his tail off. Do you know where the tail is? Righto. I hear noises out there. I think my kid's up. Welcome to How to Be Bad at Monster Hunter. Have a good one.